Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's DLloyd. So yesterday, we got a pretty big trade offer. Adrian Wojnarowski, the first one that reported it. We got a big offer from the Houston Rockets to the Minnesota Timberwolves. It looked like the Houston Rockets kind of getting fed up with the roster, looking at it overall, and they're seeing the Western being more and more tough. They need to do something with this roster to truly be a championship contender, at least in my opinion. I think they need another piece. They're now looking at it, and they think Jimmy Butler could definitely be that piece. So they made another offer to Minnesota Timberwolves. They offered him Brandon Knight, who's injured, Marquise Chris, who was injured, and not one, not two, not three, but 4 first-round draft picks in exchange for Jimmy Butler. Now, it makes sense that Houston will make this offer. You're offering them 2 players that's not even in your rotation right now. They're not playing. They're really not going to do anything for you. You offer them 4 first-round draft picks that, if you get Jimmy Butler, are going to be late draft picks. It is rare that you get late picks that turn out to be stars. It can happen. Every now and then you do get a Kyle Kuzma that happens. But your odds of that are extremely low. So you have 4 late-round picks potentially, and you get Jimmy Butler. Because if you don't trade for Jimmy Butler, you don't have enough cap space to go out and sign Jimmy Butler in the offseason. So the only way you can get him is to literally make a trade before the trade deadline. The only reason why this trade isn't going to be accepted is because Tom Thibodeau, he's sitting back, he's looking. The reason why he hasn't traded him now is because he feels they need Jimmy Butler to win, and he wants to win now. Tom Thibodeau doesn't want to win in a few seasons, in a few years. He wants to win right now. He thinks he has a roster that should be able to compete in the Western Conference. For whatever reason, he thinks that. So, in order for him to move Jimmy Butler, he has to get something back now. Brandon Knight, he's hurt. He's not going to do nothing. Even if he comes back, Brandon Knight's not going to all of a sudden make the Timberwolves a championship contending team. He's a point guard. You have Derrick Rose, who's been playing good. You have Jeff Teague, who's been playing good. You don't need another point guard. You can bring in Marquise Chris, but honestly, what is Marquise Chris going to do for you? So, for the Timberwolves, it doesn't make sense. You get late-round picks that Tom Thibodeau may not even be here to coach. Because if they start losing, Thibodeau's not going to be the coach anymore for this team. So, it makes no sense for the Timberwolves to make it. It makes all the sense for Houston to give the offer. Now, one person who could potentially swing the needle over and make at least the Timberwolves consider this is if Eric Gordon becomes involved in the negotiations. We know that the Rockets don't want to move Eric Gordon. We know they would, but they don't want to move Eric Gordon. When you look at the current roster for Houston, Eric Gordon has a ton of value. He comes off the bench. He's going to knock down. He's like the spark plug. Knock down some threes for you. Play a little bit of defense. He's going to be a little scrappy for you as well. You want Eric Gordon on your team. And when you look at the current roster, a lot of people, me, including myself, believe that the Rockets roster is worse this season than it was last season. The loss of Luke Mbah-a-Moute definitely hurt. The loss of Trevor Ariza definitely hurt this team. Yes, PJ Tucker's back, who's a huge help. But losing Eric Gordon, your role player, to bring in Jimmy Butler, yes, you technically improve. I would take Jimmy Butler any day over Eric Gordon. But Eric Gordon brings a lot to the table that is with that second unit, that helps that second unit really go. That's a huge loss to bring back in for Jimmy Butler. So we'll see. Of course, they're going to keep on going, especially the more they lose. If the Rockets lose, let's say they lose tonight, we know no James Harden is going to be there against the Clippers tonight. Of course, we have Chris Paul back, so maybe they could pull off that victory. If they lose, they drop to 1-4. Say they're looking at 2-5 later. Houston Rockets, they don't want to be in a situation because in the Western Conference, you don't want to be dropping games. That's the last thing you want to do. You want to win around 50. You know you're going to for sure need around 45 to get even sneak into the playoffs. You don't want to drop games at all. So for Houston, you're looking around, you're dropping these games, you're seeing other teams coming up, other teams being better than expected, like the New Orleans Pelicans. I don't think nobody expected they would be this good this season. I don't think nobody did. I thought they'll be another decent team, but their front court has been dominated. We'll see how long they can hold that up. But you're looking at other teams around. You're looking at teams elevating their game. And Houston, they haven't elevated their game at all. They're kind of taking a step backwards. They may know OKC, but we'll talk about them in another video. They have to make a move at some point, they feel. And Jimmy Butler could be that guy. He could be that answer. But you're going to have to give up more than just 4 first-round picks and 2 injured players. I know that sounds crazy, but you're going to have to give up more to be able to get a player like Jimmy Butler from Tom Thibodeau, who's extremely stubborn. He hasn't cracked yet. He hasn't bent. He doesn't want to trade him for draft picks. He wants a player that can help him win right now. And we know that's not Brandon Knight. But you guys let me know how you guys feel about this in the comments section below. Do you think that the Houston Rockets at some point will be able to land Jimmy Butler from Minnesota? And what do you think it will take for Tom Thibodeau to trade him? Do you think Eric Gordon could get the trade done? Do you think they'll ask for even more than that? You guys let me know how you guys feel about it in the comments section below. It's your boy DLloyd. I'm going to see y'all next time. Peace.